Good morning. How are you all this morning? Are you well? I hope you are. Well, it's been another good week. Weather ain't been too bad. Bit off and on, but not too bad. Not sunny. Done some nice things this week. I'll talk about them in a little bit. And yeah, another week. Another week in Van Central. Hey, another week in Van Central. Usual stuff. If you like these videos, if you like the stuff I put up on here, and hey, why wouldn't you? No, I'm just joking. Don't forget, hit the little buttons down the bottom there for me. Just tap the little buttons, you've got it. Right then, this week, what should we talk about? Well, as you know, as you can see from where is over that side, the sign, I like my coffee. Oh, and I like good coffee, proper ground coffee. I'm not so keen on the old instant stuff. I like the good stuff. Yes, I do. We'll have another little swig. Oh, that's lovely, that is, boy. And anyway, so how do you make good coffee in your van? Well, I thought I'd do a little bit about that today. I use a little gadget. I use one of these. This is called an Aeropress. Brilliant little gadget. Top comes off there. You put a filter paper. Look, and there's a little plunger bit in there, like a giant syringe sort of thing that goes in there. And yeah, bit of background. Invented by a chap called Alan Adler. You probably don't know Alan Adler, but if you're my sort of age, I bet you know what Alan Adler did. Alan Adler was the chap that started the brand Aeropress, which was these funny sort of round orange disky things that fly, and there was like a rugby ball with a tail on it that made a whistling noise when you threw it. Not only did he make them, he made this. In 2004, he invented this thing called the Aeropress. Oh, excuse. US Air Force above my head. I'm in Van Central as usual in my mobile recording studio, so you're going to have to live with all the background noise. Yep. He invented this little thing called the Aeropress, and it's brilliant, and it's really good for making coffee in vans for a couple of reasons. Firstly, right, because you don't need any batteries or electricity or anything else. It's self-contained. You just put the hot water and the coffee in, and then you push it through. I'll show you in a minute. I've made a video of me making a coffee. The other reason that it's really good, this little thing's made of polypropylene, and that makes it absolutely indestructible. I mean, you could chuck it around this van, pick it up and make coffee in it. And I don't know about you, I am forever dropping things off the sides because I forget to put them away and drive off and all sorts. That's why I've got plastic plates and bowls, because I've broke more plates and bowls than I know what to do with, because I've not put the little clip over on my cupboard and everything's jumped out as I've driven off. I've broke no end of stuff like that. So yeah, polypropylene, absolutely indestructible. So that's brilliant. That's not expensive. I had a look on the old W's and the old WWW's. Looks as if the full kit, which comes with filter papers and a funnel thing if you want to use it in the top, and a stirrer thingy and different little bits and pieces, that'll cost you about 35 quid. 35 quid, that's nothing. Coffee and cost of coffee costs you what, I don't know, £5 for a cup. Time you've had a week's worth of coffee in there, you've paid for one of them, and you can have all the coffee you want. And when you buy more filter papers, you can get them off eBay. They cost next to nothing as well. So without further ado, I'll get good at this, and you can also tell I've drunk quite a lot of coffee this morning. Without further ado, I will hand you over to Other Me, and he'll do a little piece where he'll show you how to make coffee in your little Aeropress, and then he'll hand it back to me. All right? We'll speak to you later, boy. Bye. All right then, I'm going to attempt to show you how to make coffee in an Aeropress. This is a bit awkward. I've got lights and cables everywhere, and I'm trying to work with the camera in front of me. This ain't how I normally make coffee. It's easier than this normally, but we'll do this so hopefully I can show you. So the first thing you need, obviously, you need your Aeropress. And this is your Aeropress. It's dead simple to use. You just turn the top and it comes off like that. There's a plunger inside, a rubber plunger, and I'm just going to pull that out of there. And I'm going to pull that down and down and down, down, about there, about an inch from the bottom, something like that. And that'll give me enough room in the top to put the coffee in the water to make my lovely cup of coffee. So that's the first thing you need. You need your Aeropress, right? Put that down a second. Next thing you need, you need your scales. They ain't got to be nothing fancy. An ordinary pair of digital kitchen scales is going to work just fine. We're not working at fractions of a whatever. We're not doing any of that. We're just using an ordinary set of kitchen scales. All right. Digital ones are easier. You'll see I've got some cheap digital ones. They're easier because the old-fashioned ones with the dials, the needle on a dial, are hard work, and you'll never use the ones with the weights on them. So we're going to use some digital ones. So I'll put them in the picture. We'll reach round everything. There you go. And we'll put that on top. We'll get the top sort of level. There you go. Right. If we put our scales on, hopefully you're going to be able to see down that bottom corner. And you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get some nice, oh, is that side easier? That side might be easier. Some nice supermarket bought coffee. I won't tell you which supermarket because they don't give me free coffee. If they did, I would. But you can guess whose they are from the brand. Look, and that's just a supermarket coffee. I know the coffee aficionados are going to hate me because I'm not using some grown halfway up a mountain on one farm Ethiopian coffee where I know that the name of the guy that grew its name, and I know exactly how it's well, and I ground it myself in a £1,500 coffee grinder. But there you go. That's the coffee. We're going to put about 12 grams, 12 to 14 grams of coffee, depending on how strong you like it is fine. I'm probably going to make a mess of this because I can't see what I'm doing. Bear with me. Right, as you can see on the scales, there's 12 grams of coffee. I think most of it went in the top. That'll do. Next thing you're going to need, right, is a filter paper to go in that top. These aren't original ones. They're ones I bought off eBay that are generic, but they're not bleached. They're all the same size, so they fit. And you pop that just in the cap of there. Look. That just sits in there like that. We're going to need that in a minute, so we'll pop that there. Oh, that's the trouble of weighing things in a van. The van moves, the weight differs. Let's try to put a little more. Look, should be 12 grams. 12? 12, there you are. Look, that might have sprinkle more. You're also going to need yourself a cup. Little one there. And we're going to make about 180-ish millilitres of coffee. So you want a nice coffee cup that will hold that. And obviously you're going to want a teaspoon because you're going to do some stirring in a minute. Right. Off to one side, I've got a little pouring kettle thing that goes on my gas stove. Right. You don't have to have a fancy pouring kettle. Any old kettle that you use in your van will work perfectly well to make coffee. This one I just happen to have. My one has also got a thermometer on the top. And again, you absolutely don't need that. Boil the water and then leave it a minute to just cool off a little bit. You shouldn't use boiling water. You should use water that's slightly less than boiling. But don't worry about my posh kettle. You don't need that. Right, next job. We reset the scales. They now read 0, down the bottom, 0. We're going to add just 30 millilitres of water. You see, posh kettle, very posh. We're going to add 30 millilitres of water, or 30 grams of water. Some clever person once worked out a milliliter and a gram in water are the same. So 30 grams of water. Right? And I'm doing this looking over a camera, so I might get it wrong. About 30 ml, that don't matter if it's a bit over. There you go. Clunky clunk. And then all we're going to do, we're going to swish that about. Right? If you can see in there, the idea is we want to get all that coffee wet. Right? I'll get all that coffee nice and wet in the bottom of there, so we don't have any dry lumps that aren't going to be turned into proper coffee. Right, now we top this up, and we're going to top this up to 200 grams. Right, so that's 200 millilitres of water, and if I pulled the plunger out far enough, then that's not going to go over the top. So let's hope 190, 200. Look at that, how good am I? Right. That's sitting in there. We can take the scales out of the way because we don't need them now. And we're now going to start a timer for 2.5 minutes. Now my timer's on a phone. I'll put a little inserty thing, but my timer's on a phone, so you can't actually see my timer, but I can see it in front of me on the screen. And we're going to let that sit for 2.5 minutes. what we're going to do, we're just going to squeeze that down a little bit gently. Just rock it. Don't try and push that straight down, or you'll put coffee all over the ceiling of your van. That's better, because that's a bit too hot. That's a bit low in. That's better. You can see now, look. There you go. Cup, filter, need that in a moment, and a spoon, because we're going to need that in a second. Right, hang on, we'll move them back a little bit, and then you'll be able to see everything. See, it's very professional here, isn't it? Very professional in my van studio. What are we up to? We've got 1.5 minutes left. Like I say, it's a little countdown timer. What we're going to do, when this gets down to about 40 seconds left, right, more or less, we're going to use the spoon. We're going to give that coffee a quick stir, because if you can see, it forms like a crust on the top. We're going to stir that up. We're going to pop our filter lid on, right, and then we're going to quickly but carefully flip it over and sit it on top of that cup. And then we're going to let it stand until the full 2.5 minutes goes by, and then we'll press the top, and that will squeeze the coffee down through the filter paper into the cup, and hey presto, in 2.5 minutes flat we'll have fantastic coffee, despite the fact that this video will take about 10 minutes. Trust me, it does. It only takes 2.5 minutes to make coffee. It really does. You can do this with your eyes shut after a while. So we're coming up now on the 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left. So I'll give that a quick stir like that. We'll put the little lid on, and it just drops in, and then it twists to lock, and then we'll flip this over and we'll sit it on top of there. Does that make sense? Does everybody follow what I've done? Right, we'll put it in the middle. Hang on, there you are. It's in the middle of the shot. Much better. Very professional. Very professional. The BBC would be proud of me. Look at that. So we'll flip that over and we'll put that on there. In a second, my little timer thing is going to go off and make a heck of a row, and that's going to tell me that we're done. Oops, and I'm going to have my hand ready. There you go, that's gone. You didn't hear it, but it went off. I'm going to gently push down now. You should be able to hear the coffee trickling out the bottom. And what this is doing, the rubber plunger, is pushing that coffee down through that filter paper. So all the coffee grounds are going to stay behind in the little Aeropress, and all the nice coffee, you hear that hisses, that's now gone all the way through. So watch, this is the magic. If I take that off there, ta-da, I've got a cup full of coffee. Right, if I show you now, if I undo this top very, very carefully, you can see the filter paper's now wet, and you can probably see it steaming. If I gently, oh, this is going to go wrong. If I gently move that up, look, there you go, under there, look, that's all where the ground coffee stayed. So that stopped anything going in my coffee. So now 2.5 minutes flat, and then all I have to do is tap this in a bin. Tap, tap, tap. You heard that off the camera. And I'm just going to rinse the top of that off with the hot water, and it's all done. Pop your sugar or your whatever you like in your coffee. Hey presto, 2.5 minutes flat, you're drinking a beautiful cup of coffee. How easy could that be? Right, I'll hand you back to other me. There you go. That's how you make a splash of coffee in this. If you go and look at other people's videos on YouTube, there's loads of videos on there on how you can, all these different recipes and how to do it. A gentleman by the name of James Hoffman. Search him. He used to be a barista champion. He's made a brilliant video on those. If you go on there, just for a giggle, put in the comments that the Suffolk Van Life has sent you. That should drive him mad. So, yeah, coffee on the go. Gonna have a drop more because I'm not bouncy enough. That's better. So, what else did we do? Well, Tuesday night and spent the night there and through into Wednesday. I stayed at a lovely little village that's in South Norfolk, and that's called, well, I spelt Wymondham. Because they're funny in Norfolk, they call that Wymondham. I don't understand. They obviously they can't spell and say things. Not that I'm biased because I'm from Suffolk, but you know, they seem to have trouble spelling things in Norfolk, so they call it Wymondham, but they call that Wymondham. I don't understand, but there you go. Beautiful little park up. It is on Park for Night, but that's only a tiny little place, so please, I don't mind if you go there, but just, you know, don't hundreds of vans cram in there every night of the week, or heavens forbid they'll take the park up off us. And there is a bin and stuff there, so clean up after yourself. Please don't leave any mess there, because they'll get funny about it. But I did a little video of just me walking along the river there and talking all kinds of rubbish and showing you a little bit of the countryside and stuff. And that's a beautiful little place, and for some reason I say the word beautiful quite a lot in that video. I don't really know why. I get a word in my head and then I have to keep using it. I don't understand. So yeah, I'll run you a little video of that. You can have a little look at me walking by the river down at Wymondham and have a little look round there. That was beautiful. Right then, I'll hand you to that one. And in the tradition of this channel, run VT. Morning. How's this for a little spot though? Isn't that beautiful? Cobbled together some sort of selfie stick, so this works a bit better now, but it's heavy as hell, so I won't be on here long. It's the top of my tripod. Yeah, lovely little park up this is. I can dare tell you where it is, because apparently it is on park for night. Though please don't all turn up here on the same night, because the car park's tiny. I don't know if you can see. Car park's over the back there, look. And that ain't big, that's full at the minute, and that's about all the cars you can get in it. So yeah, can you hear all them crows in the background? That's some noisy so-and-sos, aren't they? So yeah, this is the little spot I'm parked up in. Lovely little place. This is at Wymondham. Well, it's just outside Wymondham, that's on the very edge of Wymondham. Lovely little spot. Oh, good pigeon. Forgive me if I keep looking down. This little path next to the river is quite narrow, and I'm doing my best not to fall down it and break my neck on YouTube, because that'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it, if I fall and break my neck. So yeah, enjoy my day off somewhere quiet and peaceful, because you see, I'm a great believer that you should take life a little slower. Hey, that'd be my lesson for the week. As somebody wise once said, slow down, walk slower. That way you'll see more and can change arms, because you're getting heavy. You put on weight recently, you feel heavier. So yeah, slow down a bit. See a bit more of life. Hang on, if we... Whoop, tip you up a little bit like that. Is that better? Oh, that's a little better, look. There you are. You can see the van behind me. Yeah, slow down a bit. Enjoy life. Go a bit slower. Take life easy. It's not a race. Well, that's not a sprint. That's not a sprint. That's not a 100-metre dash, life. Life's an endurance race. And you've got to take your time. I'm going to tip you a bit more. We're still getting used to the technology. There you are, that looked a little better. We'll get used to this. There is one of these proper selfie things on the way, so I can do this properly, but we bodged something up today. That'll do. We bodged something up, we made it work. Yeah, take life slow. Take time to breathe in the air and feel the sunshine on your face. Not that there's a lot today. And enjoy yourself. Take life easy. Life's too short. We spend too much of our time chasing around like idiots, getting everywhere like there's no tomorrow, dashing up and down motorways too fast. Yeah, that paid to slow up a little bit, just to take things gently. Enjoy life. Stop and smell the flowers. Listen to the birds, look. If I shut up a minute, you might hear them. Oh, pheasant there. There you are. Somebody that knows about such things can get in the comments and tell me what birds I can hear tweeting away in the background, because I'm embarrassed to say I don't have a clue. Not really. But yeah, oh, woodpecker, heard that one. I can tell a few. I know a couple of couple of birds. I don't recognise a woodpecker, and I know a pheasant when I hear one. Things like that. But yeah, this is a lovely spot. Beautiful little spot. Peaceful, quiet. Even if it is just on the edge of the town. That don't matter. Cool, you're wobbling about a bit. This stick's heavy. That was a good idea when I started. I don't know if it's a good idea now. Like I say, I think I got a proper selfie stick thing on the order. Something a bit easier, a bit lighter. This thing's a little bit heavy. It's the top off a tripod. A big camera tripod. That make that heavy. That's a great old lump of aluminium I'm holding on to. Yeah. Take life easy. Enjoy life. Hey? That's part of my ethos of not working so hard. Why I don't want to work all them hours. Because there's lots of things I'd rather be doing. I ain't getting any younger. And I don't want everything to just pass me by. And one day I'm sort of old and worn out. So, yeah. So that's what we're doing today. Don't know where we'll park tonight. Bit of a mystery, but I'm sure we'll find somewhere nice on the way that we can park up. Another little village or something. Then head back tomorrow to where my parents live. Because of course it's my birthday. So gotta go see parents. See if they got me a present or something. They might have done, I don't know. I don't mind if they don't. That's nice just to see them, to be honest. See my mum and dad. Well, there's a lot of wood pigeons about. A lot of wood pigeons. Don't know what that is. Hang on. See if I can show you that. You see over there? A lot of sandbags and the like. Don't know what the heck that is. Bomb shelter? Maybe somebody knows something I don't. Maybe we're due to go to war anytime soon. What do you reckon? Yeah. But this is this nice little spot. Like I say, it is on park for night. If you sort of have a hunt around here, Wymondham, you'll find it. But don't spoil it. Don't everybody turn up here at once. And tidy up after yourself once you've been here. Keep the place clean and tidy. Then they won't shut it. Change hands, get tired. Then they won't shut it. Otherwise, if they get abused and spoilt, whatever, they'll stick the old height barriers up and then we won't have it no more. We don't want that. Hey, look. At a floodplain there, look. A few houses at the back. If I go the other way, I don't know if you can see it. Back there is a railway line behind me. Apparently they put steam trains on there. Yeah, they put steam trains, but only at the weekends, and this isn't the weekend, so that's not here at the minute. Because you see, YouTube's a little bit of a little, not a lie, but not everything is shot on a Sunday morning before it goes up on YouTube. I have to sort of think of things to do all week and stuff that we can put on it. Oh, a load of crows. I've just scared a load of crows off. You won't see them. They're all in that field there. Up here, look. All sorts about. It's gorgeous. Lovely quiet spot. I like these little spots where you can park somewhere sort of on the edge of civilization, where you can still park up somewhere nice. But in, nearly, nearly broke my neck. You can park up somewhere nice, but it's still sort of on the edge of civilization. You're not a million miles from anywhere, so you can still find a shop and maybe get a bit of phone signal and that sort of thing. But you can walk a few hundred yards and you're in somewhere lovely like this, look. And that is lovely. Look. Any bunny rabbits? Have a look over my shoulder. You see any bunny rabbits? No, there was some here last night. Right. Yeah. This was sort of a good idea. That'd make for a better shot. Don't know if make your arm ache. That make you wobble about. That. Sorry, if that made you feel a bit giddy. I'm trying to keep you still. Yeah, right then. I'm gonna hand you back to other me in the past or the future, or wherever he exists. I'll hand you back to other me, and he'll probably talk to you about something for a bit. And we'll speak to you later. Right then, we'll speak later. You mind how you all go together. Remember, slow down, enjoy life. Take time to smell the fresh air in the countryside, listen to the birds and see everything. We'll speak to you next time. See you later. Bye. I hope you like that. I'm still drinking me coffee. I do love coffee. That sign's up there for a good reason. I do love a coffee. That's my only drug in life now. Oh dear, I've finished it. Oh well, we'll make another one in a minute. I'll get my little Aeropress out. So yes, what else has happened this week? What else? Well, Thursday, the 24th of April. 24th of April at about 9 o'clock in the evening, 10 o'clock in the evening, somewhere there, this little boy here came into the world. So that was my 53rd birthday. I was 53 summers old on Thursday, and I'll put a little photograph of me blowing out a candle on a bit of birthday cake. I did sort of go and see my parents and stuff, and yeah, that was lovely. But you know, I'm getting a few more grey hairs, and I'm sure it's only 5 minutes ago. I was 20. I must have blinked and missed a lot of that. I don't really. I'm sure it's. I don't know. I feel like yesterday. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel, you know, you brush your teeth in the morning, you look in the mirror up there, and there's some old bloke looking back at me, and I think to myself, who are you? Because in here I'm still 20 years old. But yeah, so that was that. I had a lovely birthday. It was absolutely beautiful. A couple of people have already wished me happy birthday, some friends. So thank you very much for that. And thank you to the people that gave me a card and all that kind of thing. And thank you to my parents. They got me a couple of nice prezzies. And yeah, so that was that. I was 53 summers old. So next one to celebrate, that's my daughter's birthday on Monday. So I'll be celebrating that with her, I don't doubt. And then I suppose the next one after family birthdays is in, I think that's September. I couldn't swear to it. I'll have to check the date for next time. That'll be my 4th vaniversary, not anniversary, vaniversary. 4 years in a van. My word, that don't seem like only yesterday. Time do fly, boy. So, yeah, that was about it for the week, and that was all we've kind of done, and had to do a little bit of work and stuff like that in the meantime. Other than that, all the usual stuff. You know, if you've enjoyed what I've done today for you, and you've managed to get this far through the video, and if you have, well done. If you like what you see, don't forget, tap the little buttons down the bottom, give us a thumbs up, hit the little subscribe button, completely free, that don't cost you a penny. Tap the little subscribe button, share it as well, tell your mates about it. If you like as well, stick me a comment down below. Do you make coffee in your van? What do you use to make coffee? Do you just use instant, or have you got some really clever fancy machine? You can get all kinds of fancy gizmos for making espresso and all sorts. Do you do all of that? What sort of coffee do you like? Stick them kind of comments in the bottom for me. Have you been to that little park up in Wymondham? Stick that in the bottom as well. Tell me if you know any other nice little park ups I ought to go and make a little video from, because I like to get about a bit. So yeah, without no further ado, we'll run the credits at the end there, and I will see you next week. See you next Sunday. You take care all together. Bye. And don't forget, park safe, park legal, and don't park on the boy. I'll be seeing you about together. You take care now. Bye.